welcome back. We are continuing the escape of Shreesha, who's made it to the board edge, and she will go first in the initiative for combat round number 5, followed by the Alhoon here, and then we're going to have to roll initiative now for these two guys, Kosef, who is a hero of Phandalin, and Jannos who is also a hero of Phandalin, and they have been tracking Shreesha along the way, although she does not know that they are tracking her. And when it's their turn, they will come in at one of these 4 points to determine where they enter the map. And so this will be 4, 3, 2, 1. So first, Shreesha is going to move, and she's going to dash, and then she's going to use a bonus action to Misty step even further to get away from this Alhoon, who is currently up in the air. So in order to chase her, he's going to have to land. And then in the last episode, we kind of talked about him possibly going over to the horse, but the horse is not feeling that great, because this whole situation here kind of damaged the horse. The horse is injured. So he may end up staying, going. I'm not sure. We're going to have to roll and find out what his decision making looks like. All right. So still invisible, Shreesha will go ahead and make her move. She will take her turn and exit this board. So she is going to continue on to her objective, which is a clearing a little further on, where the constable's wife Amber is being held. If you'd like to see the table set up and the episode that's relevant to this, to her arrival at this other location, go back and view part 7. At the 4:11 mark, I start setting up the encounter area for that one. So check it out if you feel like doing that now. Otherwise, we will continue with the Alhoon's turn and do a little bit of rolling to see what this guy decides to do. Okay, Mr. Alhoon, decision time for you. Let's get a roll going for him. We'll start with 1 yes die and 1 no die. No probability stacking, and our tiebreaker there. Will he decide to chase after Shreesha? Now the thing is, he knows that the horse is injured. He knows it's going to be tough to get her, because every turn she's going to be able to dash and then Misty step. So I think it's probably likely, or highly likely, that we're going to have him not chase her. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put 4 to make it highly likely, very highly likely. And see whether he chases after her, for starters. Nope. Sorry, I had a dirty lens for that last shot, but I'm not going to reshoot it. I'm sure you guys don't mind. All right, so what are you going to do, Mr. Alhoon? She got away from you. You've killed some of your own guys. You've injured the horse that you could have probably chased her with. So what happens now? I guess the Alhoon could land, or would land. The question is, would he, now that he's made a mess of things and is probably going to have to report to leadership about why he made such a mess of things, what should he do? Should he remain at his post, come up with some kind of explanation for what happened here, or should he possibly just leave? All right, so I'm going to go with 1 yes die, 1 no die, and tiebreaker, because I think the chances are probably equal that he stays or he goes. Either way could be interesting. Let's see just what happens on this no advantage roll here. Sorry, I need to do that again and declare the question. You always have to declare the question. Will the Alhoon stay at his post? Yes, he does. Now next, he has a clear line of sight to these couple gnolls who are his subordinates. And the question will become, does he call them back? Because they've been dilly-dallying around over here, because this guy here has 1 hit point left and he's refusing to go back to his post. So I think there's a pretty good chance, a very good chance, that, so I'll just stack the yeses on this, a very good chance that he calls them back and orders them to immediately start heading back. Yes, he does, with a high of a 6. So here's the thing. On his turn, the gnolls will go next. But the interesting wrinkle here is that we have to figure out, in the initiative order, when Kosef and Jannos come onto the table. So I'm going to re-roll initiative for the gnolls and then roll initiative for those two guys. And we will see what happens, because it's going to be kind of important to see in the order of the appearance of these two guys, possibly at position 3 and position 4. So we'll do that next. All right, so here you have a close-up of these two characters coming onto the board. On the right is Jannos Valnich. He is a arrogant, self-absorbed bard. And then on the left you have Kosef Bursk, who is a anti-slaver because he was a slave himself, monk. And so let's see where these guys come on the board. I will use my trusty D4 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do Jannos first. I mean, there's a good chance they'd be close together, but maybe they didn't. Maybe they just decided to split up. So let's see where Jannos comes in. He comes in at marker 3, which is right here, which is super bad for these gnolls. And let's see where Kosef comes in. He comes in at marker 2, so they're fairly close. He's just coming in on the other side of this terrain piece here. All right, these gnolls here better hope and pray that they outroll Jannos here. So let's see what happens. The gnolls have a +1 to their initiative roll, which is their dex. So they get an 18. So we'll just mark them with an 18 initiative there. And then Jannos's dex is a +2. So let's see what he gets. Only a 9. Let's roll for Kosef over here. He has a +4. Oh, also a 9. So our heroes are going to go after the gnolls. All right, so our gnoll on the right with 18 hit points remaining is trying to talk our gnoll on the left here with 1 hit point remaining to go back since they've received their orders. Let's find out if the injured gnoll is going to agree to this, because he is very frightened of his commander there, who's been blowing the crap out of everybody. So we'll start here. I think it's going to be a pretty good bet that he's not going to want to go. So let's roll and see what happens here. We are looking at the question being, does the 1 hit point gnoll agree to return along with his comrade to their post? Absolutely not. Question will then become, does the gnoll on the right leave his injured comrade behind and head back to his post? I'll make that even. We have no evidence that the allegiance is that great between the two. They just ended up at the same spot. So we'll just leave it even. Does this guy return back to his post and leave this guy behind? No, he does not. that means these guys are not going to follow their orders, which actually is going to help Jannos, because I think you know what's coming. So they're going to remain in place, and when there's a tie between these two PCs, the PCs can decide who goes first, but since we don't really have a player for each of those, we will just roll odd or even. Odd will be Kosef, even will be Jannos. Even it is. Jannos gets to go first.
Kosef, those gnolls don't even see me. Well, you better be careful, Jannos. I don't know if you should attack them. We don't want to give away our position to that Alhoon over there. Yeah. Boy,